So what is tapering? And more importantly, how does it relate to your marathon race? Now, tapering is simply the gradual decrease in training volume over the last 1 to 2 weeks leading up to your race. That's the general statement for that. It is something that is necessary to make sure that your body is primed and ready to go on race day. Now, if you're a seasoned vet, you are somebody who probably already knows what you do in the weeks leading up to your race. You have a routine, you know how you do your workouts, when you rest, when you recover, and all of that. But if you're brand new to the marathon distance and this is your first time tapering before a race, these 3 workouts I'm going to give you today are perfect to sprinkle in to the week or 2 weeks prior to make sure you're moving and sweating, getting that body ready to go without overdoing it. You've built up all that mileage over the last couple months. We don't want to lose that, but we also want to make sure that we're taking care of our body so that you are absolutely in the best shape possible on race day. Let's jump into the first workout. Now, one of the toughest things about tapering is that you're not used to doing this little. You're used to putting in tons of miles, all these workouts, kill yourself every week of training, and now I'm asking you to dial it way back. So the idea here with these workouts is they are gonna get you sweating, they're gonna get you moving, so you'll feel like you got something in, you got that heart rate up, but again, we're not gonna overdo it here. So that first workout is gonna be a strength circuit. I have 4 movements for you. You're gonna set a 12-minute clock and run through these reps as many times as you can during the 12 minutes. Of course, finding a pace that feels manageable. First movement here is gonna be a simple reverse lunge. I'm gonna stand to the side so you guys can see. I'm gonna start with my butt squeezed, legs about hip width right under me, and then chest up nice and tall. I'm gonna then sit my hips back, transfer weight over one leg, and step back into a lunge here. Never letting this knee go past the toes. So I'm gonna still keep that chest up, push the hips forward to stand at the top. Other leg here, transferring weight, hips go back, stepping back, and together. That is the gist of the reverse lunge. Keeping those abs on nice and tight with the chest still up. You're gonna use that hip hinge back to make sure those knees are protected. And all of your weight is always gonna be pressed out of the front heel, which doesn't seem obvious at first, but if you're doing this right, you're gonna feel those hamstrings and glutes really work to get you moving forward and back. Next movement is going to be a push-up with a little addition. I'm giving you a little shin tap in there. From the side, it looks like this. I'm gonna find a nice wide plank. We're gonna do wide legs today, not those normal together like I've given you guys before. You're gonna start with those hands, fingers pointed forward, elbow pits screwed forward as well, and that's gonna protect the shoulders. So I find that wide plank. Now I'm gonna lower myself in a push-up. Easier version would be knees, chest, and chest, knees. Harder version would be strict, keep those elbows in tight to the sides, strict down and up. Now at the top of the push-up, you're gonna lift the hips back, squeeze the abs, tap the left hand to the right shin, find that plank again, lift again, tap the right hand to the left shin. Come back, that's 1 rep. You're doing that 10 times. Push up, tap, and tap, just like that. After that, we're going into a broad jump. So this one's very simple. You're gonna start in what I would call kind of a half squat, and you're gonna basically explode the hips open and then land again in the squat. So we're going for distance here, not height. So I sit back, reach those hands back, and I'm gonna throw my hips forward, land in that squat, stand up all the way tall, squeeze the butt. Turn around, I'll show you guys another one. Little lean, again, get that weight in the heels, open and close. So you're thinking of the hips opening and then closing as they land. That you're gonna do 10 reps of too. And the final thing here, guys, is gonna be a 1-minute elbow plank hold. I'm gonna go down here on the ground. For this one, we will go legs together. Bonus points if you can keep your hands separate and not clasp the hands. That's a little too easy. We're gonna screw those shoulders in and force you to really use that shoulder stability all the way through. You're gonna squeeze the abs and just breathe in that elbow plank hold. Making sure the butt is squeezed as well. I should be able to hold a plate of something right on your low back. It shouldn't move. That's a 1-minute hold there, but adjust as needed. So you're doing 10 of everything. The reverse lunges, it'll be 5 each side, 10 total. Going into those 10 push-ups with the taps, 10 broad jumps, and finishing with a 1-minute plank hold, but modifying if you need to. You're setting a 12-minute running clock. Just keep working through that cycle as many times as possible. The one thing I want to ask you to do on this is start with a 5-minute warm-up jog, nice and easy before you do this workout, and finish with a 5-minute cool down jog. This will give you a nice, good 30-minute, you add in your mobility, it probably won't take you more than 30 minutes for the whole thing. It'll get you sweating, get your heart rate up and your body moving without overdoing it. So we got that strength workout. Now we're gonna add in a run workout. And this is gonna be a place where you can work on a little faster speed, but not at high volume. Get those feet working under you, that nice high turnover, that cadence primed and ready for race day. And you can also spend some time on your form here. So this is a very simple workout, guys. This is gonna be 5 by 400 meter run. Or about quarter-mile run, and you're gonna pair the 400-meter runs with 10 sprawls, which is essentially a burpee without the push-up. We are doing this so you can kind of get that antsiness, the jitters out. You can hit those, not top-end speed, but quicker than the marathon shuffle. Give the recovery time in between, and then those sprawls will help snap those hips so that you're working those glutes and keeping a nice, strong running form the whole way through. So I'm gonna show you what those sprawls are right now. Say I just went out for my first 400-meter run, I come back, and then I'm gonna go into 10 of these. So all I'm gonna do is stand with my hips, or feet about hips width apart here. I'm gonna reach those hips back with my abs tucked in, hands hit the ground, I'll bend the knees as much as I need, and then I'm gonna shoot the legs out, let the hips drop, and squeeze the butt as hard as I can. From here, I'm gonna snap those hips in, and jump and clap at the top. That's all it is, no push-up. Hips back, touch the ground, drop the hips, squeeze the butt, and just like that. One more from the front, reach the hips back, drop, and like that. So you're doing this 5 times. The run, come back, 10 of those. You rest for the remainder of the 5 minutes. So you're gonna set this running clock, but every 5 minutes you start again. So if you are someone on the more beginner side, add an extra minute of rest here, so you'll go at the top of every 6 minutes. But the rest is there so you can work on that deep breathing into the belly, shaking those legs out, making sure you don't get too sore during this one, but then you can also hit those higher speeds during each round. Good luck. The third and final pillar of this tapering here is going to be the infamous shakeout run. You guys have probably heard this term many times before, but what exactly is it and how do you use it best to your advantage on race day? That shakeout run is typically for the marathon anywhere from 2 to 5 miles. I've found to be a standard range. Anything within that is safe. You're gonna run this at a much slower pace than your marathon pace. So you're not going for race pace by any means. You're not trying to blow out your speed one last time. You are trying to pull way back. It's simply just moving one last time on the legs to get you prepped and ready. Now this can be done, I usually see it in either the day before the race or 2 days before the race. That is up to you, and all depending on if you're traveling, if you're gonna be at the expo, how your body feels. For a lot of people, this is just a test. You just have to try one or the other and then see what works best for you. That's what I've done. This is entirely just about getting your legs under you one last time. So that shakeout run is entirely for you. Listen to music or podcast if you want, just kind of tune out one last time. If you did travel for the race, this is a nice time to just kind of get a little lay of the land, maybe just see the sights if you haven't yet where you are. And of course, just give yourself that mental clarity before you hit it on race day. This is tailored to you guys, so pick the best shakeout run for you, do it when you feel ready, and good luck. Now, what good would these workouts be if I didn't tell you how to use them during that tapering period leading up to the race? I want you to think of it this way. The training itself, your training schedule, should not change, even all the way up to that last week before the race. What should change is the training volume. So how much you're doing, how hard you're working should go way down. And so I designed these workouts not to confuse you or add something new into the mix before that race, but rather to take some thinking out of it and give you something to insert in your training schedule on the given days. And what I mean by that is, say you do strength training normally on Tuesdays, you could just plop the strength workout I gave you right in on that Tuesday leading up to the race. You won't even have to think about it. For the speed workout, so that 400-meter workout that I gave you guys, if you're doing the full 5 rounds, I would recommend keeping that on the second to last week before the race, because it is a little higher volume and you're working on that speed for a bit longer. But if you did want to get a track style workout in the week of the race, you could just take a couple rounds off. So just do 3 rounds of that 400 meters with the sprawls. This is just a simple example here. These style workouts are low in time, low in volume, and they're just designed to be sprinkled through, keep you sweating, keep you moving, and all that good stuff. Last thing I want to leave you guys with is to use the extra time you have in this tapering period, not to be consumed or worried about the fact that you're not doing as much, but to use it to your advantage. So get your mobility work in, get that extra hour of sleep, drink a ton of water, and really be proud of all the training you've done. It's normal to feel antsy during all of this. It's because you haven't done really any of your training having felt this rested. So even when you do these little workouts, you're going to feel really strong, really fast. And you want to make sure you're pulling back there so that you have everything you possibly have to give on race day. If you're dealing with pre-race jitters as far as logistics go for getting to your race, so if you've picked something that's a flight away or a long drive away, Coach Elizabeth covers all of her favorite tips for getting all of those details worked out before race day. Running, eating, sleeping, making sure you feel primed and ready to go. Click the video right here and catch that there. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.